Oklahoma, the same storm system had built tornadoes of monstrous proportions. Amid the awesome violence were moments of awesome beauty. The supercell which gave birth to this stovepipe tornado also spawned a satellite twister, which danced gracefully on a carousel ride around the edge of the cloud. In the tornado's path was the rural community of Bridge Creek. Family homes spread across gently rolling hills, which until now, people had believed would protect them from tornadoes.
Golly. Huh? It's about a half a mile down the road from us now, Gary. Okay, I'm going to stop here and we're going to get the shot.
Underneath this storm cloud, Chad Irwin and his family fled from their home in a desperate fight for survival.
It came right up to the water tower, raised up over the water tower, came down on the other side of the water tower, and then it came down the hill.
F5 tornado running through. It looks like an F4, F5. It's a violent tornado.
We took off running. The oldest boy was in the front. He was carrying our dog. The youngest boy was behind him. My daughter was behind him, and my wife was carrying the other dog.
Chad had an emergency tornado plan. He knew exactly where to hide.
He ran down right here. He went in there. And that's back in there.
Violent tornado on the ground.
The family were still in mortal danger, pelted with debris and being sucked out by the storm.
I leaned over both of them and told them goodbye because I thought I was going to buy it. There was a big piece of jagged metal right here, and it just kept hitting the side. And then the big piece of carpet wrapped around these trees right here, and then the remaining flat came over.
The carpet and tree covered the drain and saved their lives.
Then I came up here and tore a place right here, from about here to here, and I crawled out here, and I came up here, and I stood up, and it was sitting right there on the top of the hill. My family and me, we kept thinking, where's that train that everybody talks about, that you hear the sound of a train? We didn't hear no sound of a train. All it was, that's all it was. There wasn't no woo-woo or any of the click-clacks that everybody's talking about. You can hear the sound of the track. There wasn't none of that. I didn't hear nothing but just wind.
Oh, my
Look at the stuff in the air. Oh, look at the stuff.
Yeah.
Debris.
In a deep gully, this frame is all that's left of his mobile home.
The boys' bedrooms were right down there where that trash is right now. The utilities, the kitchen, and the back porch was right on the other side of this stump right here. That's a picture of the house, the way it used to look. It's a solitaire modular home.
Chad knew his home could not have survived, but the ease with which the tornado demolished its next target surprised even him.
It was just one big black curtain that made a jog like that, and then it headed right for the church. And then it picked up the 26,000 square foot church and just held it like this for a minute, and then it just slammed it back down to the ground and it just exploded.
The Bridge Creek Church was utterly demolished. All that remains is a building site and a new tent for services to continue.
This morning to commit before God to commit this morning.
Bridge Creek was to be the greatest scene of tragedy of 1999. 12 people died here. Many of the bodies were found over the next 24 hours, thrown into the man-made lakes which dot the area. A mile from the church, this is all that remains of a house hit by the full fury of the wind. Fighting for his life inside this building was Mike Fernick. Mike suffered a punctured lung, fractured ribs, and a damaged spleen. His injuries came from the swirling debris from his own home, smashed into his body by the force of the wind. Everything that hit him did damage.
It's amazing the debris is flying around. Just the little bits of sand and dirt hurt intensely. I think they said that some of the winds were 300 miles an hour. You know, while you think 300 miles an hour is fast, until it hits you, you don't realize how hard that hurts. It's like being sandblasted.
Eric, Mike's son, was also inside the house.
So I started throwing stuff out of a closet to make room for us. And I grabbed Eric and wrapped myself around him, just tied him up in a little knot. The closet was shaking. I was trying to hold on to it with one hand. And we went sliding with it, and then it hit right in the back with something that was large, and it hit me hard. That's where it broke my ribs, I guess. But when the bricks started hitting me, it paralyzed me for a second. And I relaxed my grip on Eric, and he started floating up in the air. I grabbed him, pulled him back down, and just wrapped myself all the way around him harder than ever. I figured I was going to have to take both of us.
Eric suffered little more than a scratch.
Pretty tough kid.
But holding on to Eric as he did, Mike surely saved his life.
That's all you can do to save your kids.